Okay, come back from the cinema. I went yesterday, went today, and I'm sort of like rather blind because I've just been staring at LED lights, just trying to get enough lighting sorted out for this. And okay, Mission Impossible was thought provoking, believe it or not. I want to watch it again. It works with the first part. I feel like it could be broken down to like being in like sort of like a mini series, as it were. If you could make it more episodic, it would work really nicely. It's because of the length. Music was fine, acting was fine, special effects, everything was working fine. And the story does hold together, and in fact answers questions from the first one. It makes sense of things. So it hasn't pooped the bed. It's done rather well. You can basically end everything as it is now, and they've rigged it where you can do like a passing of the torch. You can make it like a different type of thing, believe it or not. Yeah. I want to watch it again just to sort of like to savor the nuance, even though it is 2 hours 40 minutes long. I think it's actually longer than that. That's one of the big problems with it. It's the length, and it's both parts. So there's that as the downside for it. It's great to see all of the special effects and the stunts because you've got so many practical going on. It's it's really good to watch on the big screen with it. And I did like that Tom Cruise. And one reason I want to watch it again so I can recall that thing. He had done a personal thank you right before the film began for coming to watch the film and so like as a scene on the cinema. So basically, thank you for not watching a pirate copy and everything. And I didn't watch that pirate copy in the end. I just went to the cinema. Glad I did. I was dreading it, so I guess this is going to be longer than that. No, you could tighten it a bit, but it wasn't boring, if that makes sense. If you've got an attention span, you'll be okay. So yeah, that was quite nice. And then I went tonight and watched the last two episodes of Doctor Crap. This is right. It used to be called Doctor Who, but this is thundering shite. It's just shite. It's just. It's like a weird gay space opera. I just. I knew I was going in at the deep end because I've not been. I stopped paying bloody attention to even the hate watch reviews to report how things have gone down. After you've got like the television, there's like the cartoon, it's like Ding Dong, it's like villain who was like affecting reality and stuff because you had this like cartoon like villain come out of this like film and so I was just unprepared and so it just ended up being like with with the episodes in season 5 of Angel, the Buffy spin-off. Because if you remember, there was this sort of hell, wasn't there? You had this sort of like hell prison where you just like be this wonderful, nice, happy Stepford thing, and then you just end up being dragged down into the basement and then tortured, and things would reset, and then you'd be going through things again. That was the episode inspiration, it seems. I think it was like called Wish World or something. I was just wishing I was just off my face with toilet duck. It's just, and you've got Dr. Nutty, who's clearly black. And then you've got his companion. And I was like, okay, you're the companion. Okay, you're both in bed. Why? Then it's like some sort of Stepford like couple because of this reality wipe. And oh look, we've got a kid, we've got a little child. Yes, it looks black. The mum's meant to be bloody Indian, as in South Asian Indian. And you've got Dr. Nutty, who's black. He's Nigerian. And the kid has no hint of Indian. She looks very, very black. And I have no idea how old this kid is. It's just sort of like, did they put like this tiny, like, it was meant to be like, say, a 1-year-old or something, and put them through growth hormones. Because she's looking very, very big to be put into like cots and stuff. This is like cribs with the bars and everything. And of course, every time they start like questioning reality, you get all of the mugs just slip from the tables. And apparently, there was somebody who's actually in hell who managed to break through onto one of the televisions and told Dr. Nutty that tables don't work like that. And so this is how he starts this Galileo type experimentation. So like, oh right, so my doubts is causing all of the mugs to go through. So for stuff's sake, you should be pretty obvious. You have got great big recycle bins for all of the bloody ceramic mugs that you keep smashing because they keep going through the tables. And it's all okay. We'll just go to the cupboards, which is just stacked with ceramic mugs for some flaming reason. And it's and then it just turns out, and it's like they're looking and you're thinking, okay, this is like a 1950s type stuff thing. There doesn't seem to be proper modern technology, even though it's 2025. And okay, this is like some sort of reality wipe, okay. And you're there thinking, okay, none of you are questioning the great big massive flaming skeleton monster things are roaming around. It's just it's not like some sort of London tourist event. You've got great big massive skeleton monsters roaming around. And all of the disabled and that are sort of like ignored. They're like pariahs. And they're like being concentrated to like tent cities and stuff. Because reasons. And Dr. Nutty does his experiments in the end. And then because of it, he's now actively doubting. And this means that he's got to, which prompts his fake wife to then go and call the police using a landline. It's an old like dial phone. It's like the 80s, and it's yellow. And he's expressing doubt. So that you've got the sort of the thought police dressed like as if they're SWAT or some sort of tactical army. They're coming in into their things, and then they're grabbing. And then you've got this granny who's been messing around with a bloody Indian woman that's been in this sort of like sky base thing. And she's enjoying taking away Dr. Nutty. She's just. She manages to get Dr. Nutty to remember who he is, that he's not John Smith, and like to get them over the threshold. It's sort of like. Uh, and when he remembers, we then find out that the Asian woman that was flying around on the sort of like the hybrid of the Green Goblin's flyer and a scooter. So just imagine handlebars and the stem of a scooter on the Green Goblin's glider, but it's like it was like it's been made of bone or coral. It's it's just uh I'm losing track of all of this crap. But yet it turns out it's actually the Rani. Somehow the titles have been wiped out of existence again, and so they're the last two. And he should be happy that she's there. And because he's not alone, for some reason they're now sterile, so the Doctor can't have kids. And then, because she managed to get him to doubt enough, that caused a weakening of reality. Because you had to create this wish world to tear out the veils of reality enough, so then you could get to the underverse. So, what? And she's trying to do this because she wants to get hold of Omega, the first Time Lord, which means that I think we've managed to now forget that the first Time Lord was actually meant to have been the Doctor because they did the whole sort of like stupid child crap with Fem Doctor, with Dr. Karen, because they changed all of the canon for the Time Lords. And so there's this sort of like Doctor Evil plan where it's like leave him on the balcony, you blow up the balcony, and then he'll fall. But then I think he's meant to like reset or something. But it's okay because he's saved by the manager of the. Because we're now onto the second episode. He's now falling down. There's this thing. Everything's starting to fall apart and reset because we're stuck into a day loop. And and the manager of the Time Hotel. It is a time hotel. I she apparently had fallen in love with him. Had been like on a days of being staring into like various positive eyes. Found out he actually was gayer than a tree full of monkeys on nitrous oxide. And so she ended up going with, I think it's Ricardo from accounts, and she's ended up being knocked up by him. But she still saved him, and they're okay because they're like stuck in the future. She's got the doors, and she pulled him through. And if you're thinking I'm on drugs, I can quite understand. This is making a flaming sense. And then they use that to restore the unit tower, which looks suspiciously like as if they've ripped off the Avengers tower from the MCU. Uh, uh, so everybody starts remembering who they are because you've got doors from the future, from the time hotel is bleeding in reality. So the wish world's sort of like destabilized around the tower. Then you've got the whole idea to go and save the world by disrupting everything, which the tower has these time guns, and because they've sort of like been shifted, the great big bone creatures are sort of like trying to like heal the wounds. So it's almost like they're scavengers. They're trying to repair stuff by munching rogue time stuff or something. But they're noticing there's this great big massive tower that's utterly wrong here, so they just start targeting it. So you've got the daughter of Brigadier General Alistair Gordon Lethbridge Stewart. You've got this great big ship's wheel, as if she's a captain of the Titanic, on the thing, and it's just she's steering the tower. The thing is moving about left, right, and centre, so it's like pivoting and swiveling. Reality has just left the building, and they're doing all of that to serve as a distraction. You've then got Blondie. She's using a sort of time travel so that unit's created to get to the thing, so they can disrupt the stuff because the Rani had stolen a child who had been the seventh son of a seventh son of a seventh son, and because of that, it's got basically like the power of a god, and it's and that is how the wish was created because you've got this weird guy called Conrad who's using the child as an energy to create this wish world. And they're talking about the Doctor. They're narrating the Doctor on these 1950s television from books that look suspiciously like they're meant to be taking the mick out of Harry Potter. And and by the way, the Doctor's got a daughter called Poppy. Oh, I've mentioned that one. And so they've got to create this sort of like box of special time stuff or something to stop her from disappearing because she's clearly part of the wish. And there's a lot of weird monologuing and stuff. And they end up succeeding in getting the portal to the underworld to happen to get Omega out. But by this time, he's become a great big skeleton monster himself because the thought of him being like this sort of like this mad god thing has actually seeped through and he's become it. He eats Indian Rani. Granny Rani steals the time ring that they'd been using to get about instead of a time TARDIS, and she just piddles off. You've got Dr. Nutty being able to sort of take this apparatus thing, which looks like some sort of weird guitar, it's about got the power of a billion supernovas trapped inside of it, and he's able to shoot him back into the Underverse, I think. It's gone anyway. And they're able to have the kid. They're able to have the kid that just survive from the vault and everything. There's like the apparently reality's shifted 1 degree, which means that teal is now sort of like not what it used to be, and there was like some other stuff. And poor Ernest Borgnine has been resurrected. I mean, the poor bugger's got to be like he'd be like 110 or something stupid at this point. The poor sod needs to be left alone. Ernest, no, 1917. So the poor bastard is going to be well over 100. And it just continues because they're going to be going on the venture, him and the Indian. You've got Blondie still remembering the kid, but then the kid just starts disappearing whilst in the TARDIS. And so he ends up realizing that Blondie's actually been having sanity throughout the whole lot of it, which is actually I disagree because you can't have sanity in this Lovecraftian charade. And so he basically triggers a regeneration in himself to get the energy to go and shift things so then she can be saved and be brought back. You've got Dr. Karen making a surfacing. So you've got bloody Jodie Whittaker back for like 5 minutes and then she pisses off. Thank you, go away, to come back. And then he's like blasting the energy into the TARDIS so they can like do something. And then the kids actually survived. And it turns out that the Indian woman's actually had a child the whole time. This wasn't from a wish. This is a child that was actually real. And so he's seeing all of this, and apparently throughout the whole thing, she's been saying, "Oh, I've got to get back for like 7:30, the 24th of May." Absolute dead set thing. It's because she needed to be there to ensure the childcare of her child, because Indian Granny is going off on some sort of thing to Manchester for a violin concert or something, and then he's just like going off, regenerates into Billy Piper. He regenerates into Billy Piper. Russell D. Davies has clearly been snorting a great big paper bag of powdered LSD, drank 5 bottles of toilet duck, then then took like an entire box of like creative writing Viagra and just carried on till he collapsed. This is thundering weird soap opera shite. Not to recommend. And I'm just seeing at the time. Goodness knows how this is going to be able to be put through WhatsApp. The thing it's got going for it is it's more coherent than Captain American Falcon Brave New World Order. But what the fuck? You can just smell the rot of Disney on the poor corpse of Doctor Who franchise. Anyway, I've been to the cinema.